Welcome to the Paradise Paradox. I'm here with my lovely assistant, Estefania, who is too shy to jump in front of the camera. I'm just going to introduce this episode to you. So in this episode we describe our journey, our little pilgrimage to the state of San Luis Potosí, and from the city of San Luis Potosí to Real de Catorce and onwards to Destiny, in which we take a trip of Peyote and try to manage the effects of the sacred medicine and have some unusual perceptions, unusual experiences along the way. So it's kind of interesting. Well, a lot of things happened while we were under the influence of Peyote. I guess you have to take some of it with a grain of salt, because who really knows what really happens while you're under the influence of a powerful hallucinogenic. But we did see some interesting things, saw some spirits, and yes, many strange experiences. So remember, if you like the episode, head on over to Facebook, press like on Facebook. You can follow us on YouTube, press subscribe on there, and of course you can follow us on iTunes, Pocket Cast, Podcast Addict. Everything that's good in the world, that's pure and holy, you can use to subscribe to us, I guess. Also, of course, we appreciate your support by following us, by giving us comments. Also, when you give us tips, that's much appreciated, because it helps us know that we're out there making a little difference in your perception of the world, opening your mind to new experiences, perhaps, or giving you a little insight into something new. So we do appreciate that a lot. So head on over to donate.theparadiseparadox.com. Also, something I recommend to check out is Steemit. So Steemit is a new blogging platform. You could go on there. I'm going to, if this is within 24 hours of me uploading this video, then you can go follow the link through to this post on Steemit, and if you like it, then press upvote. The thing is, on Steemit, when people like your posts, it's not just like on Facebook and you get a good feeling inside, or if people don't like them, you feel like you're worthless or something like that. If you go on Steemit and people like your posts, you actually receive money from it. So that's something new. But if you like our post, I'd love it if you go on over to follow the link in the description there, or in the show notes, and you can upvote our post on Steemit to show your support. So thank you very much for doing that. This is episode number 117. So you can find the show notes at www.theparadiseparadox.com/117. And thanks very much for listening. We love you guys. So let's get into it. Yeah, so the other day we got back from our adventure to San Luis Potosí, and took an intense journey across worlds and across dimensions to meet some interesting characters and have some very strange experiences. We were just listening to some of the audio. So Aaron had his audio recorder on a lot of the time. And how would you describe some of that curious footage that you captured there?
Well, it's kind of like Blair Witch style stuff.
Yeah, found footage.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone found this audio recorder out in the desert, and they listened to it. And
who were these guys? Where did these guys go? Because I mean, it's really hard to explain what happened out there, because it's going to sound crazy. And I'm thinking of the episode of The Simpsons where Homer eats the chili and his face starts going into itself and all weird things. It wasn't quite like that, but we're listening back to the audio now, and there's definitely a sense that the timeline that we have up here, recorded in our brain, is not exactly what doesn't follow the audio sequence or the audio numbers. And there's a lot of weird things that we're going to talk about, but overall, I had a really good time, and I'm keen to do it again. Although I learnt a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you learn?
Well, I won't go into detail now, but if I'm to do it again, I'm definitely going to give you like a list of how to prepare, what to take, and all that. So in that sense, I learnt a lot. But the thing is, when you listen back to the audio recordings, you realize that maybe I should have been given more detail. Like, I think sometimes I listen to it and I remember that I'm looking up in the sky in awe and saying things like, whoa, it's huge and it's massive and wow. But I'm not actually explaining what I'm feeling or seeing. You know what I mean? So I kind of let the team down there. But you get caught up. You get caught up in what you're experiencing. That it's like, they really, you really can't transfer that experience to somebody. And I can only suggest that everybody has to do it at least once. I was going to say a handful of times, but at least once in your lifetime.
But did you receive like some kind of spiritual insight or some insight about things in your life, or it was just an enjoyable experience and you felt connected to the? You did say the day after when you were heading back that you had a lovely moment. So tell me about that.
Well, I'm not sure which moment you're talking about.
Okay, you said looking at the mountains, it was very special.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool. Yes, when you're in the peyote, you kind of, I'll tell you, I was a bit silly. I kind of went out there to party. I didn't really take it. I didn't take it as spiritually as some of the other people that went out with us. That's definitely I can admit to. I feel a bit immature in that respect, but I went out there with friends to have a good time. That was my intention. But what I realized the next day, when everyone was feeling a little bit sad, tired, worn out, dusty, the next morning, was everyone basically woke up laying in dust and dirt, just covered in dirt. I decided to take a moment to think. Whatever the experience was, like the spirits or just the plants or just the environment. So I walked out further than what I did any time the day before or any time that night, and just laid out there in the desert for a little while. Because it was early before the sun got way too hot, and I think that was really nice. And I got a few homeworks. I guess kind of like similar to the ayahuasca. Right. Just things came to mind, and it's like it's not a coincidence. It's kind of significant. And I was thinking about that on the bus on the way home as we're traveling out of the desert, and I kind of felt. I always get hit with these bombs of emotion in previous episodes and future episodes. I'll probably talk about that, but this case. It was kind of like, when you're saying goodbye to your year 6 classroom when you finish in primary school, and it's kind of like you don't understand, what's going on, and you kind of feel like you're going to lose a friend. You kind of agree that you're going to keep in touch and write letters to each other or something. But that emotion of, kind of like leaving a job. Friday afternoon, a few afternoon drinks, and you might have a few words saying, great crew, had a lot of fun working with you guys, but I'm moving on. That emotion where your heart kind of moves up into your throat a little bit, and it's kind of like you get a little jarred when you're trying to talk. I'm on the bus looking at the mountains, and the mountains are making me feel guilty that I'm leaving them. like it's some kind of long breakup after the mountains looked after us because we're out there in the desert, and the desert's massive. Like I can't stress that. But at night, all you see is like this outline of the top of the ridge of the mountains all the way around. And that, even though I explain in a video recording, a sound audio recording, those walls kind of came real close to me, and I'm in this trapped box because, you know, your mind starts to bend and things. I did feel an emotional guilt leaving the area, feeling like, you know, we are close now. Like we had an intimate relationship, me and those mountains.
Well, do you want to talk about your wedding ring?
That was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, tell us, give us the context.
Well, this happened. It was okay. This is really weird. Really weird. Because it's not like. Okay, I'm outside the house. I'm outside the ring. We will go into this. We'll go into this detail later.
Just to give a little context.
Okay.
So the campsite has a stone circle around it, and it has a tree kind of up the bank of the campsite, and then the fire is in front of the tree, and directly in front of the tree is a little offering altar just made out of a circle of rocks as well, and so within the within the campsite, while we were under the influence of the sacred medicine, everything was relatively calm. But stepping out was like something else. So I described it like stepping into the unconscious mind. You described it as like wading out into an ocean.
Yeah.
And so go on from there. So what happened?
Yeah, there's photos that to give you a better idea. But yeah, you step out over this pebble stone, pretty stone size of your fist to make this perimeter. You step out over that, and yeah, I felt like I was going out into the ocean. This huge, roaring, moving sea of something. And, you know, we're only human experiences, so it is very hard to explain what that feels like. But you do feel like, I mean, it was windy as well. You notice it wasn't that windy inside the house, but you step over the rocks and all of a sudden, I think
I didn't notice that, but
yeah. No, well, it seemed. I mean, the desert was windy that night, and even the audio recorder doesn't seem that windy when we're inside the house. And I keep calling it the house, but it's just a ring of rocks around a tree that happens to have a fireplace inside there. Very cozy, very calm. And then you step outside, and all of a sudden, all you can see is the fire behind you, burning behind you, and then just blackness and shadows in front of you.
Yeah. Shadows and spirits.
Well, in spirits, should we? I mean, I haven't even talked about my wedding ring yet, but
okay. Yeah, tell us about the wedding ring.
Okay, and then we'll move on because there's so much. Like the experience was so rich that I really think that it should be a primary school excursion. Just to man up early in the game. I was feeling a bit sick several times. So it was like, I'm not going to spew inside the house.
Right. So vomiting is supposed to be part of the peyote experience.
Yeah, purging of emotion, something. I mean, it wasn't like, anyway. I felt sick. I'm about to throw up, and it's just like this grumble at the very low base of your stomach. Like you feel like you're about to throw up. And so I get up and I step over the rocks, and I maybe take 4 or 5 big steps out in the desert towards an area that I know there's no cactuses because they're kind of hard to see. And then I'm standing there going, bleh, nothing's coming up. Nothing's coming up. And then at one point, I think my hand's on the ground. And it wasn't like there was a voice in my head at all. It wasn't like there was anything. It was just like a feeling of, you're in the desert. Get your wedding ring off. But it wasn't like I cared about losing my ring, or I'm out here scratching around in the dirt. Like, I'm going to lose it. It was just like, it's a bit silly. Like, you're in the spirit world now, and here you are carrying around this symbol of like, whatever, your human people made up. Like, that means nothing here. That kind of message. But it wasn't like...
I remember when you got back, you said it was like the voice said, come on, you're here with me.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like, who you kidding? Come on, man. Like, what do you... Well, like, you want to... Because, actually, this happened after we decided it was a good idea to take our shoes off and run around the desert with like spiky things everywhere. And
we didn't run. You guys were walking. Well, I was too. I was walking around the campsite.
Yeah.
With barefoot, so we weren't running around in the middle of the desert like trying to chase the sun or something.
No, but I did feel like I could do it with confidence and not. I felt like I could spin around in circles and just charge through the desert, and the plants would move out of my way. Not that they would, just that I wouldn't hit anything. I didn't try that for the sanity of everyone else in the group. The last thing they need is some idiot with shoes off running around the desert with a lot of spiky plants. So I didn't want to freak anybody out. If I was by myself, I might have done it, but none of that happened. The thing was, inside the campsite, it was so calm and so nice that I felt like I needed to take my shoes off, like out of a respect of just feeling the sand between my toes. It's like when you go to a nice house, you take your shoes off. It was kind of like that. And then when I stepped out, I've still got my shoes off, and it's like, well, you've got your shoes off, my toes are in the sand, and then I just felt like this uncomfortable ring on my hand, and it wasn't like a voice like, get your ring off, like this is dumb. It was just, I felt silly. It's me, the desert spirits, like this whole wash of just emotions, and I'm wearing my wedding ring. I put it in my pocket, and I felt like I was relieved. Like I felt like I was more real and more, there was like less stopping me from connecting with the nature. Or whatever that is out there, because do you know what was out there?
Well, I know a little bit about what was out there, but let me tell you, there were a lot of things out there. So we just listened to that audio before, and at one point, it was still, maybe it wasn't quite dark yet, or maybe it just gotten dark a little while ago, and the thing was, after I had just taken, I don't know, maybe three buttons of peyote at that point, so not quite enough to have like a breakthrough experience or an experience that really blows your mind away. Maybe just to maybe alter your senses a little bit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it tastes so awful. At least for me, it was. I know for you, it wasn't quite as bad.
I was pretending.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I mean it was pretty bad, but some of the bigger peyotes were getting on the size of an orange round, and then once you cut the guts out of it, like the flower bit, and then once you cut around the dirty bottom part, and I mean you're still eating a fair bit of like skin,
dirt.
And dirt. I mean the first bite is like, that tastes like what a cactus would taste like.
Yeah.
Like half
like nopales.
Yeah, like nopal, like raw potato, kind of earthy. With this, it's just a really strong
choco, but nasty. Yeah. So anyway, after these two or three buttons, I was like, I don't know if I could really eat more of that. So maybe I'll just chill, and maybe I'll see some visual effects, or feel a little, what's the word, euphoria or something like that. But walking out, I think it must have just been getting on to dusk, and so when I could see like the sun going over the mountains, and all around us there were the shadows coming towards us, the shadows of all the trees, and it was like wherever I looked all around me, I could see there were bits of light, and everything was normal there, but from the shadows, I was like, holy shit, there are a lot of spirits out here. And then I heard this little voice in my head say, yeah, there are, and if you keep eating, you're going to meet some of them. And it said, I know it tastes awful, but persist. It will be worth it. And I was like, okay, I guess that's strengthened my resolve. I can't fight with the voice of intuition here, entering, whispering sweet nothings into my ear. So
I never had that kind of relationship I think I walked in more like a meathead type understanding, which is like, it wasn't really my fault. I'm going to say, and I mentioned a couple videos about the tour guide saying, the real, like the native people that follow and respect and worship these peyote plants, they eat their age in peyote. So I was like, I need to eat 31 of these things, and some are small, some are big. And I thought, well, I'd have to, and it isn't the easiest thing to put down, because when you're eating a big one, you're at like well, you have to chew it. It's like a spongy, soft potato.
Yeah.
And the first maybe 2 or 3 bites go down pretty well, but then your throat just seems to tighten up and not even want to go down. So you're just moving this horrible taste. I mean, it's uncomfortable, the taste in your mouth.
Yeah, but luckily, the young lady that was with us, Marcella,
yes,
brought some honey.
Yeah, she was a pro.
Yeah, she knew what was good for the peyote. So the honey helps a lot. Also, it helps to just swig a bunch of water, like chew it in the corner of your mouth, so you don't get any of the taste, and then just swill it down with some water.
And it lubricates your throat as well. It kind of slides down because.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think it was the honey, but how good did the water taste afterwards? You threw down liters on end of water, like you were just bottle after bottle.
Well, I had to take a little sip after a lot of bites. Anyway, so yeah, I said that thing about the spirits, and Mikey was like, "You nailed it, man." And at that point, I'm not sure if Mikey or you had seen the spirits, but afterwards, you definitely did, because it was a little alarming, to say the least, to leave the campsite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, right now I'm assuming people are wondering, like, what does a spirit look like? Like, we're both saying straight up, we saw them.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so what actually did you see? And before I try to explain what it is that you see, you see exactly what it is. You see the plants and the cactuses and everything turns black and there's shadows, and you look up and you see the stars that start at the horizon and go right over to the other horizon, and then you turn around, it's like just a full sky rim, like the whole thing is stars. But then something happens and you focus on a certain section, or even if you move your eyes, in the corner of your eyes, you think you see things. But then your brain's telling you, your mind's making things up.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't stop, and then it gets a little stronger, and then it keeps happening. You're like, wait a minute, maybe what I'm seeing in my in the real world isn't exactly what's out here. That's just like this recreation of what I know I saw during the day. But now that it's nighttime, it's like my mind wants to recreate what a cactus looks like, but I'm not seeing that anymore. You rub your eyes, you shake your head, and you see a cactus, but you know that a moment ago, that was not a cactus. That was a 4-foot tall soldier standing there with a pike.
Yes.
You saw that too?
I mean, there were fallen kings and fallen queens and soldiers and Aztec warriors or whatever. There were all kinds of characters out there.
Yeah.
I mean, thousands. And on one level, of course, I can't say. I mean, I can easily say, it's kind of similar to when you're drifting off to sleep and you start to see, maybe you open your eyes and you start to see things in the dark and they look a little different. So, you could say it's only that. So I'm not going to say necessarily that anything I experienced was like an objective reality. I mean, because let's face it, we were taking this strong hallucinogenic drug, but it definitely gave me some things to consider. So, yeah, I met aliens. I met aliens.
Yeah, I believe you. I really do believe you met something.
Yeah.
I mean, aliens is pretty generic because you didn't actually see, they weren't little green men, or they weren't portrayed like the movies.
No, I don't think so. Because mainly, well, let's see if I can click a few ideas in. So, you know, you have a man, a Native American, and he's out there in the desert, and he's making smoke signals. And a gringo, or you know, a European in the distance sees these smoke signals, and he's like, "This is kind of, smoke doesn't normally go like that. That's kind of weird. Maybe there's somebody out there. Maybe there's something out there. What some intelligence." And it's a little odd. Now the other thing is, imagine if you met, or you somehow came into contact with an intelligence that was so different to you. And you didn't share a common language. You didn't necessarily share any common perception of how the universe functions. Your brains might be structured very differently, if they even have brains. You know, do they have brains? I don't know. There's an interesting text that some people purport as evidence of extraterrestrial life, which I don't think that's what it is. It's a government document, I think from the NSA or something like that, and it goes through and describes, okay, so if we come into contact with an extraterrestrial intelligence, how would we begin to communicate? So first we'd have to set some rules. So say, for example, we can only communicate in binary. What are the first numbers that we would send out? We would first start doing something like counting the numbers from 0 to 100, or 1 to 100, something like that. And from there we would go and use different different symbols written in binary to try to establish operators like plus and minus, divided by and multiplied by, and that kind of thing, until the point where we can start to describe periodic elements using this system of numbers that we've built up. So we're sending out this great big long code, which when carefully interpreted, can give a kind of understanding of the universe.
Okay.
So that's not exactly what I experienced, because fortunately I think this intelligence was a bit better at this than the NSA is, right? So, but what happened? Let's see. I'm not sure. How much detail should I go into this time? Should I give like a?
No, I think a quick version would be good, because we've spoken about it for hours, and it's not something that I think you can describe or at least transfer from one mind to another within even half an hour.
Yeah,
like there's.
I'll try to give a quick version, and then in later episodes when we're going through the video and audio footage, and we can give some more commentary and explain what's going on at different points.
So you think you might just tackle the interaction?
Yeah. So I'll give a few points here. So what I saw, I was walking around. I just walking around through the desert a bit far from the campsite, and I kept thinking, well, I can see these spirits in my periphery, but I can't actually talk to them. So it's kind of like, it's just like a toy, or it's just like a visual effect, and it doesn't seem to have any deep meaning. So what I really want to do is see something meaningful, and what I really want to do is communicate. And after a couple of times saying that to myself, I saw these three lights in the distance. and they started to do something very odd, where two of the lights swapped positions with each other. And they appeared to be just houses on the horizon, but they were behaving very strangely. And I mean, I think you at one point saw a UFO as well, or maybe it was just a shooting star.
No, I am sure that I saw much. I don't want to call it a UFO.
Okay.
Because
strange objects.
Because then that paints an image in your mind.
Yeah, unidentified aerial phenomena.
Yeah, I want to say that I saw things that you would normally see if you went to a desert if you weren't high, but they were behaving and interacting, not with me, but with each other in a way that I've never experienced before, and I found very interesting. But, I mean, in respect to your experience, you went out to the desert and you were saying, these characters are very interesting. How could I communicate with them with that intention to like have some kind of interaction?
Yes.
I went out to the desert like, don't move on me, don't scare me, don't do anything. Just let me enjoy the laser light show above. That was my experience. And looking back now, I feel like that was a really wussy, pussy thing to do.
Yeah.
Because we were deep under this waves of energy.
Yeah.
And I think, maybe there is multiple intelligences. I mean, maybe there's even, think about that each species of plant would have a certain intelligence as well. And how could they interact with somebody other than moving in the wind? They don't control the wind. So perhaps they can control or exert a force on your perception. And the lights that you saw, several times I bump into Kurt and I'm like, so how's it going? All through the night. And he's like, look at these lights. And until he said that, I never even saw that. I never noticed the lights because there's so many things going on. I mean, I'm too busy looking at the glitter around the different plants. And the glitter, I don't know what that is, but the fireplace was kind of shining light everywhere. Like it was kind of ping pong light. Like Christmas lights sometimes were around different trees, but then you look at it and it's just, there's nothing there. But then you turn away and then it's like, there's something happening here. And I mean, this happened a lot. But when you said, look at these lights, I was like, okay, I didn't notice those lights a moment ago.
Yeah, but you still didn't pay much attention to me. You were off doing your own thing.
We were not.
Marcella looked at them and she was like, and she listened to my explanation and she didn't really say anything.
Okay, well, about these lights and all lights, your senses are turned right up. So even though like a rational mind would say those lights are houses off in the distance, they seem like they could have been 10 meters away. Yeah.
It was very difficult to judge distance in dark forest, dark desert in the middle of the night. I mean, you said you were kind of shutting yourself off from possible contact there. So obviously you were feeling pretty scared. I remember at one point you didn't want to leave the campsite to go potty because you were like, I'm gonna have to go out there. What am I gonna see?
That's another episode because what I experienced at that was weird. Yeah, okay. I don't know if we'll go into that now, but I mean...
No, that's all right. We can talk about that another time. But the thing is, I mean, I don't blame you at all for being scared because it was fucking... the whole thing was fucking weird.
It was terrifying.
Basically, maybe top 3 weirdest experiences of my life. Maybe it's the absolute top weirdest experience of my life. If I hadn't have had... my experiences before, like I have problems with with ghosts in my house and stuff, which is, I mean, it's still very weird every time it happens. It's still very creepy, but I don't necessarily feel scared about it because I'm like, yeah, okay, I've seen this before. So at least I had that preparation for this high weirdness. So when I step out into the desert and start seeing some things that are very strange, I had some preparation.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't say that I've had that much experience or preparation on this level.
Yeah.
I would say 3 peyotes in might be equivalent to being at a music festival and taking maybe 1 acid tab, maybe 1.5 to 2 if they're not overly strong, and all of a sudden, you can hear cowbells 100 kilometers across the desert right here. You know what I mean? Things like that.
Watch us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, tweet us on Twitter, and listen to us on iTunes or Pocket Casts.
Okay, I wasn't gonna say it because it's just who wants to hear someone talk about their experience passing the number 2. But generally, none of us wanted to leave the campsite. Well,
It was especially you. Well, I guess Mikey was like wrapped up like a snug as a bug in a rug there for a long time. So I guess maybe he didn't really want to leave either. He said he was like fixed to the ground, like stuck to the earth.
he was magnetized, I think he said. The thing was, we all had very distinct experiences. Like none of us really. I think early in the night we might have said, "Oh yeah, I can kind of hear things a little bit different." My visions. Our vision wasn't too bad considering it was night. Anyway, that's another thing.
Considering all the spirits and hallucinations. But
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe we didn't even see. Like, what would have been cool if we could see each other's face at night to see how our eyes were. Because we're pretty super dilated. We're looking at this laser light show. But, I mean, I'm talking like there's occasionally like little sparkles in my vision.
Yeah.
I was experiencing that from before even the sun went down. Like that was kind of happening all the way through. But the thing was, I was supercharged. I don't know how to really explain other than you almost have like anyone that's been to the gym and has taken like a pre-workout and it's like they feel like their skin's moving, or they got ants under their skin. It was kind of like that because I was pacing around the campfire. I tried laying down next to Joanna a couple times, and I would not have lasted longer than 5 minutes.
All right.
Like I just had to get back up again, and I'm still pacing around. In the morning, the whole campsite was just covered in my footprint. Even my machete had footprints all over it. Like I was just walking. I didn't even notice I was stepping on things all over the place. And it's because I think I was bringing myself to getting outside the campsite.
Yes. Well, I mean, several times you were just pacing back and forth, and you came over. Mikey and I were laying there next to the fire, and you were like, I can't do it, man. I can't go out there. And we were like, well, we knew exactly what you meant. We didn't have to ask what you meant because it was. I mean, it's weird out there. There's a lot of things out there.
I was concerned if I went out, I might not come back.
Yeah. Because
a couple times you take 5 steps out, and the fireplace seems like you're drifting out to the ocean, and that the little island or home base seemed a lot further away than what it was. And then you take 5 steps, and you're like, wow, I'm back here again. Like that illusion of distance was there. But a couple times I did bring myself like, let's go, pumping myself up.
I remember saying to you, listen, I know it's weird out there. I know it's really fucking weird. But everything you saw during the day, like the dirt and the cactuses, the plants, the trees, all of that is still there. It's still there. There's still this physical reality, as ethereal as things seem. Yep. There's still a physical reality out there. So don't worry too much. Just go out and face it. And you were like, I guess you're right. And you went out after that.
Yeah, I mean, I was walking funny because I was kind of like taking big strides, big steps, and out you go. And then when you get out there, it's not too bad. Like there was nothing really out there. But the couple times that I did go out there was because I either felt like I needed to spew, or I needed to go to the bathroom. And this was an experience that was very weird because you know what it feels like when you need to go to the bathroom. It's very clear. I'm feeling a little weight at the bottom down here, and I need to go to the bathroom. So I'm not going to do it in the camp. And I walked out. And that's fine. You find a spot far enough away off the track, or it appears that way. That's fine. You pull your pants down. That's all pretty normal. And you find yourself in a really awkward squatting position, trying to pull your pants, which are wrapped around your ankles, forward so that whatever you drop doesn't fall back into your pants. And then you find that you can't. you can't. Like you want to go to the bathroom. You feel like you need to go to the bathroom. And it's not that you can't do the action, because you can, and you would normally push the action. You feel like you're going to hurt yourself. Like you feel like you're pushing against a brick wall. And apparently I'm not the only one that felt that way.
Yes, I can identify with you there, my brother.
It's like we were dry.
It felt like I was trying for like 3 hours to take the one shit, and yeah. And then tell us how you felt when you finally achieved success in this endeavor.
Well, the thing is, I felt like I couldn't push normally because it just felt like it was useless.
Yeah.
Like the weight. It was like you're pushing against a brick wall and you couldn't really do much. But
at the time, I remember you described it as not being able to find the button.
Yeah, you just couldn't. You couldn't do it. It's like you're there, and your ass is in the wind. What felt uncomfortable was the wind brushing past my balls. I didn't like that because I felt like at the same time you feel like the shadows are coming in on you. Like sometimes you feel like the cactuses are reaching towards you.
Yeah, this is the thing too. Because every single time I went out to take a piss, I'm like, okay. Where am I going to take a piss? And normally if you're out in the desert, I guess you can just kind of walk out anywhere as a man at least, and just go, all right, well, here it is. But taking a piss that night, I was like, okay, so there's a forgotten king here. There's Mr. Skeleton Man over here, and here is another guy. I don't even know what that is. I don't want to piss on that dead body on the ground. Okay, I guess I just have to make a decision, trying to move in between these two bushes, which look like fallen souls of emperors.
Yeah. See, I don't think I felt that way.
Yeah.
I felt like I couldn't piss on any plants. Like I needed to find a clear space.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I never had such a vivid experience. Occasionally, I could see.
Well, I'm exaggerating a little, but that was what it's like. I was like I was seeing people everywhere.
Yeah, see, it's hard to explain, but you're right. You're right. Every single plant becomes something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
and other things as well, rocks and like little figures on the ground seem like they've got something going on.
Well, sometimes you see a shadow on the ground. You're like, I can't step there because I don't know how deep that hole is, knowing that it's completely flat. But who's going to take the risk?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I feel like. You look up at the stars, you're there, and you're waiting for something to happen, waiting for this movement to pass, and then you come back to eye level, and the plants are trying to reach at you, and I just had this image of someone grabbing my balls, and it wasn't that. It was just the wind, but things, you interpret things differently. It's like the fact that the wind was brushing between my legs.
Come on.
I felt like...
You don't know any little Native American witcholas were grabbing your balls.
I couldn't...
Don't be embarrassed.
I could imagine there was someone manhandling me.
You said that at the time, well, not at the time, afterwards, you described it as twisting.
Yeah,
you said they were twisting your balls.
The wind would just come in and start...
A willy-willy, a tiny little whirlwind came between your legs and started whipping up your balls into a frenzy.
So I started to
whipping
push.
your balls into a frenzy of dick play.
I started to push. I said, I'm going to rip my ass out, but I have to finish this. And it felt like I was pushing a semi-trailer out.
Yeah.
A huge, I mean, I don't think it was really that big, but it was just heavy, like iron ore being
Yep.
pumped into a rail cart. It was really hard. It was hard for me to do, but when I did, I felt like it wasn't just a normal motion. Like I had shed maybe years of emotional weight. I felt like I was taller. Even it was like the whole thing was like it wasn't a normal shit. Put it that way.
Yes. Well, I felt a similar way, not exactly like that, but I was like, I guess I kind of had the idea like, this is going to be a very unusual shit, and I imagined it coming out as like a perfect sphere down to the millimeter. I think it crossed my mind for a second to take the toilet paper and conserve this magical item which I just passed, to donate it to science or something like that, because there's probably contained dark matter or something in there.
Yeah. That was a much better description. I can identify with that.
Yes. So what a beautiful evening we had.
I've kind of gone blank just thinking about that, because that was that was a significant part of my night. Because after that, I felt like I didn't need to go to the bathroom anymore. But later came the spew, which was kind of similar in that it turned on, and then after I threw up, I washed my mouth with a bit of water, and I was completely fine. Like that. Like, I mean, I didn't feel sick afterwards. Like, you feel sick, 30 seconds later, you're throwing everything up.
Yep.
From
discharge.
From deep behind your belt buckle.
Download the peyote to the ground.
It even felt like I was like stirring up my stomach, building up a good amount of spew, and then whoop, out it comes.
Catapult.
And then I was good again. However, I didn't eat more peyote after that.
Didn't you? Wow. Are you sure you didn't?
No,
I think you might have. Okay.
Yeah, I probably did, because I know I was still. I felt bad. Like I felt an emotional weight for the amount of peyote that was left over in the morning. It might have only been a couple, but once it's cut up into diced pieces, I felt like there was maybe 20 pieces. 20 pieces that are half the size of my thumb. And then I found a piece that I was eating earlier, and I said, this is the first peyote I dug up. So at 8 o'clock that next morning, I'm still eating peyote. And then the guide, well, he's not really a guide. He's more like the pickup truck driver. The
desert taxi.
The desert taxi, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we could fry this up with some eggs."
Did he really say that? Joanna was saying that, and the taxi driver's wife was like, "Yeah, haha."
No, I feel all serious.
I don't know. Joanna said fry it up like huevos a la mexicana.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But I would be interested in taking a couple peyotes, dicing them up and putting them into a blender with some pineapple juice and maybe some mango pulp, and just to say, I can drink one glass of peyote milkshake or peyote shake, and say that's equivalent to 3 or 4 peyotes that I struggle to eat. Even though at one point I was pretending it was quite sweet. I think it'd be better.
Okay, so you were lying to me the whole time. You were like, "Oh, it tastes like pear." I mean, the best taste I tried to take your advice, and like you said to me, "Oh, just treat the taste as information."
Yes.
And well, that helped a little bit, because it went from like tasting this foul hell's cough mixture into tasting something like burnt coffee grounds, and it was a little bit more agreeable.
Yeah, I found it very helpful to try and analyze what the taste is and was as I go through it, because then I didn't notice how bad it was. I was like, it's not designed, like this is not something I wouldn't order this flavor of ice cream, but is it interesting? And it kind of was. And then I found myself just honey, boom, more honey than peyote at the end because it was quite upsetting on your throat.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you this. So next time we go, so you want to do it like a once a year thing. That was your idea, right? You still think that's a good idea?
There's more of a reasoning behind it. I think.
Yeah.
I think definitely. I actually said the next day, if you have not done, if anyone has not done peyote with friends, how do you know you're really friends?
Okay, Tyler Durden. Yeah.
It's like, it is kind of like a Fight Club thing because you see your friends on different levels, emotionally, physically in the way they react, but then there's also a certain level of mind that you kind of share because you kind of analysing it through as you go.
You're out there in the desert and you're in your own fucking subconscious together, just chatting in the middle of the ocean desert. And yeah, go on.
If you don't do peyote with your friends, you don't know if they're your friends.
Okay.
That's another meme.
So you would do it again then? You would definitely do it again?
I don't understand the relationship I have with peyote or the desert or Mexico. Yeah. But I loved it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't mind the being scared part was minimal, but I love camping. Going to the desert is a totally new experience.
You told me you were terrified.
Yeah, I was horrified.
Okay, but it doesn't detract from the glory of the experience.
Oh,
that's
no.
What you're saying.
I mean, looking now, I'm like, that's like the least of my concern. Now that I'm still alive, safe, and didn't get eaten by coyotes.
Yeah. But
when you're out there,
all bets are off.
Oh wow, that's a rush. So yeah, I'll definitely do it again. I actually think that I want to go once a year. I'm tempted to build a house there out in the desert and just make it like how cool is it? Because
the dude said 70,000 pesos for 900 meters square.
Yeah. The thing was,
sounds like a pretty good.
It's on the back of the railway line. That's what I didn't like about it.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
So maybe we could get something that's a little more expensive, but in a quieter spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't want to listen to the Beast and La Bestia and all the Honduran immigrants getting abducted by gangsters as they pass through, or that kind of thing happens.
Well, the thing is, those trains aren't like your normal 8 carriages long. They're about 80 carriages long.
Yeah, we saw them. Well, the thing I wanted to ask you was, like this time you said you're a bit of a wuss. My question would be, next time, are you going to say, fuck it, I'm going out there and I'm going to find out what they want to tell me?
Yeah. I am willing to go myself.
Uh-huh. Do you want me to push you out of the stone circle?
Well, I'm thinking that because we had one stone circle, but the majority of trees, and there's very few, actually have stone circles. So I'm actually tempted to move and go for a whole week and just trek from one stone circle to the next.
All right, eating peyote every day.
Yep.
You are crazy, my friend.
Well,
I don't know. I remember in the morning I saw you eating the grand puppy.
It was big.
Yeah, it was a nice healthy button, and I was like, man, I don't know how you could. How the hell you can do that? I've just had this felt like my brain has been connected to this intergalactic Wi-Fi, and the information was just downloading, and it's so much intense information is making my body fucking twitch in different directions. So how can you get up in the morning and take a healthy bite of it?
See, this comes back to this connection that I felt with the peyote.
Yeah.
And I don't know, my grandfather was like Oaxacan Indian tribe type life. And I don't know if that's got something to do with it, but I definitely felt very comfortable out there. As in, before the sun went down, and then things got a little hairy. But it wouldn't cost me much to keep eating peyote. Like, I think if I had an all-you-can-eat peyote buffet and it was a good major prize, I would give it a good run.
Yeah, but I guess you didn't go all the way like I did, because you didn't go out there and say, show me.
No, I went out there and said, please.
So maybe if you had my experience, you'd be like, nope.
All right. Okay. I mean, I don't.
Well, next year we'll see. Maybe you've got bigger balls than you let on. So
maybe we should write a script, and I'll go out far and just chant this thing like, "Show me what you got."
Yeah.
I think we're both a little nervous now.
Well, yeah, the rule, like I mentioned in that little check-in app, the rule was that Marcella told us, she was like, if you feel good, eat peyote. Feel bad, eat peyote. Feel like you're gonna vomit, eat peyote. Feel like you're not gonna vomit, eat peyote. Feel like you've reached a good place, eat peyote. And that was what I did. Up to the point where I felt, no, I can't. I'm not gonna eat any more of that stuff tonight.
How many do you think we shoveled in? Like medium size?
I don't know, because there was a jug of like stainless steel jug about this tall, and about this round, so about 10 centimeters tall, I'd say, and about 8 centimeters across, 7 centimeters across.
Yep.
So quite a big size, and it was just about full to the brim of peyote.
Yep.
Of course, there were 6 of us there. I don't think Joanna took any from the jug, but she did eat a bit.
Yeah, she's a bit of a lightweight.
Yeah, only about 3-4 buttons. So yeah, I don't know. And there was still some left in the morning, but just the dregs, I guess, just like 8 pieces, 8 little tiny pieces, cut up pieces in the bottom.
Yeah, we are going to follow up with an episode or something to say how we'll do it again.
Yeah.
With direct instructions on where to go.
Give a little guide.
A guide. So,
Yeah.
Without spoiling that, I want my own personal bowl with a knife and fork, little pepper,
Yep.
some salt, because I want to measure how much I actually consume. I got no idea. I know it was definitely more than 10. Easy more than 10. But
10 buttons.
Yeah, it could have been 15.
Yeah.
Things I just kept dipping that, getting into that bowl.
Yeah. Well, I really took Marcella's advice to heart. So I was sitting there, and every time I felt like it's kind of like that Louis C.K. bit where he says, it must really take something special to suck a dick, because like every time you suck a dick, it must just like take something out of you, like it takes a little bit of your soul. You have to reach deep inside and find that will just to suck that dick. And that's how I felt taking a piece of peyote.
There is
motherfucker.
There is a level of squinting insanity into yourself when you do something like that. But yeah. So we're going to do it again.
Okay, so you said
peyote bucket challenge.
The entire bucket. We're going to clean out the desert. Okay, so you said this is the plan. Well, this is what's happening. This is the amazing goal. Next year, 2017, putting you on the record here, Mr. Aaron Battle, that after Acapulco, after those 4 amazing days of anarchist brilliance, libertarian, hard partying and amazing entrepreneurship, sharing information, making new connections, and all that beauty.
Friend building.
Yep. That comes out of that. We say to the crew, all right, who's coming? Who's coming out to the desert?
So you're in?
I'm in. Maverick said he was in too. He said,
Maverick.
Yep.
Great. so that there's 3 of us. I don't know how big. I think I want a crew of 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was a good size.
Oh, the good thing is, because there are the different trees, so even if we do have have a big crew that's too big.
Yeah, but I'm a bit of a dick. I'm gonna want to scare people.
Well, no, none of that.
Okay.
None of that.
Okay, I'll keep myself in
people would
mind.
be scared enough already. There's no need to help them along. So
So you're saying maybe if there's 10 of us, we can split camps, have 5 on one side of the
Yeah.
road, 5 on the other. Like, I mean, this desert road.
And, be neighbours. Yeah, just an idea.
All right. All right. I mean,
But
if
who
you're
knows
interested-
how many people are willing? I mean, a lot of people took the ayahuasca this year and at Acapulco in the top floor of the Grand Acapulco Hotel. But but a lot of people chickened out, of course, and it's perfectly understandable.
See, I might be
look
interested
into
in doing
the depths
that.
of your soul about
As well.
chickening out. Yeah.
And I
Let's
really
let's
don't
chicken
think I'm going to chicken out. I mean,
Yeah.
if I really don't know what could hold me back. Like, honestly, I really enjoyed the peyote.
All right, but you gotta really see what it has to offer next time. I'll be pushing you out of the circle, buddy. Not really. I mean, take whatever you're comfortable with.
I'm going to bring a NutriBullet battery pack, and I'm going to be making smoothies because I want to get 32 peyotes in me next year.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I'm going to be one of those idiots that go around hugging cactuses and end up needing a helicopter out of there. Because you did hear about that?
No.
Raul, the desert taxi.
Yeah.
He said that a lot of people, if they go overboard, he said don't worry about it, it never happens. But he did mention, I think early, that sometimes people go crazy and start doing really dumb things, like just like seeing a cactus and thinking it's some kind of
A long lost grandmother and hugging it. Yeah.
just get in that. And yeah, but I mean, I'm looking forward to hitting a level where we can have a group trip, not just because everyone was on their own page this year.
Yeah, but that's I don't know. I think that's kind of how it should be. But it's good. It's cool because you have a little group community. If you feel like something's weird or you need support, everybody's there. The campsite's always there. The fire's always there. You can always come back to it. But you can also go out and who knows what you might find out there.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff out there, my friends.
So you're calling me out to say, because I don't know why you're worried at me not following through with this. I love this idea, but I think in the next future episodes, we're planning to do a checklist on how we would do it if we're going to do it again. No, this is going to be our next episode is going to be how we would do it and how we are going to do it. Okay.
Right.
So anyone that's like now tuning into me going, I'd love to see Aaron trip out there, and tune into Kurt and somehow get the path to talking to the hyper intelligence, then you better watch the next episode and make notes because we're going to be packing like a big backpack this time. No suitcases. That was silly and hard. Anyway.
Well, I was thinking I need to load heavier because I need to bring a little shovel or a trowel or something, some extra tools, maybe a machete. Anyway, that about wraps it up. So that's a little insight into our interesting experience. We've still got a lot to talk about, and we'll show you some video and audio footage and get a commentary of the kind of wild antics that the universe was playing on us that night. So
yeah, we have hours of lost footage to share.
Lost footage, found footage, or it's just footage.
Okay, no. You called it that first, and I
called it found footage, but that's the style. That's just like the Blair Witch style. It's not actually found footage.
What I lost was my battery charge
Right.
because my batteries died so early in the night.
You said that thing's supposed to have 30 hours of battery, but
I don't know.
yeah.
Desert's got weird ways, man.
Yep. Yes. Well, that's one of the least weird things that happened, I guess. Great. So we'll talk to you soon. Tune in for our future episodes, speaking more about fifth dimensional intelligences from Altair or somewhere else. And we'll talk to you soon. Peace. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks for your attention. Thanks for bestowing us the gift of your attention, because your attention absolutely is valuable, and where you direct your attention can have a large effect on where your life goes. So be conscious. Now, remember, you can subscribe on YouTube. You can jump on over to Facebook and press like on there, and you can jump onto iTunes, subscribe on iTunes, Pocket Cast, Podcast Addict, and keep in touch with us. You can also go onto our website and subscribe to our mailing list. And we love it when you guys reach out to us, when you press like on our videos and comment and tell us interesting things. So please do that. It's much appreciated. And what else? Oh yeah. So if you like the episode, of course, we appreciate your donations, your tips. So you can head over to donate.theparadiseparadox.com. Suggested donation or tip is $1 per episode that you like. So if you like the episode, a little dollar that doesn't go astray, you can tip by Bitcoin, PayPal, Dash, and altcoins. And also, you can head on over, have a look in the show notes. You'll see a link to this post on Steam. So if it's within 24 hours of me posting this video, you can log into Steam, press upvote, and that's actually going to give us a little money, which helps us continue this show. It doesn't cost anything to join up. So also, if you're a writer or a content creator, I recommend you to have a look and consider it as a platform for your beautiful artworks that you're releasing in the world to try to make this a brighter and more amazing place. So thanks so much for listening, and have a wonderful day.